with Chit Chat Kit Kats. This morning I'm just going to talk quick update on Carnivore. I'm in now 1 month full carnivore without any cheating, no carbs, no sugar, no carbs. But I do have my coffee and I do have my monk fruit in that, pure monk fruit, no erythritol, etc. Now, changes I have noticed. I started out at 142.6 pounds. After a month this morning, I'm 139.6. So lost 3 pounds. I'm not losing a lot of weight quickly. It is starting to move. But then again, don't forget, I had the full thyroidectomy and my medication is not fully adjusted yet. And in fact, when I went, he lowered my medication rather than upping it. But I did lose 3 pounds. Now, I was just happy, for one, that I wasn't gaining weight. So 1 month, 3 pounds lost. Now, something else I've noticed. As you can see today, I have no makeup, nothing on. And my lips, usually I have put lipstick on. Why is that? Because my lips were white. I look like I had now I'm getting color in them. So I don't feel like I have to have the lipstick on like I was having to before. And the reason like I said, that I was putting it on all the time before was because my lips were just white. So now they're getting some color to them, and that's a big difference. My cheeks have a little bit of color to them. So that is making some improvement. My skin is still pretty dry, but I've always had very, very dry skin. And so, that's still adjusting out. What else is going on with it? That's about it. Like I said, it reversed my diabetes, and I no longer have to take iron. Now, before, when I was having the carbs and stuff as well, and I was trying to take Floridix, I was taking iron pills, I was taking, what was the other thing kale. I would make heavy kale soups because of iron and stuff, and none of those worked. My iron level just kept dropping and dropping and dropping. And it's only since I've gone full carnivore, and I do eat, I still have cravings for the liver. I do eat liver. Like last night I had some liver. And that is really boosting the iron level. And then when I'm eating, I don't eat raw. I know there are some raw carnivores out there. I don't do raw, but I do quite, I don't have them real well cooked. I ate them pretty rare. Now, my dad, even as a kid, I ate my steaks more rare. And my father would say, I've seen cows hurt worse than that get up and walk away. And I'd tell him, well, you could resole shoes with the things you're eating. So he would have his steaks just cooked to there was not 1 ounce of pink anywhere. So yeah, I would think that he could sole shoes with them, that they were so, dried out. But that's what's going on now with the carnivore. Now, watching videos where people are eating all these different things, sometimes that can be a bit difficult, when you see them having biscuits and gravy and all these other things. Oh my goodness, or baking bread, or, or having a big plate of spaghetti, the carbs and stuff. But really here I have not had the craving like it was before, where I feel like I have to go out and have it, because I know if I go out and I have one of those, that leads to 2, leads to 3, and if I get like one of the things I wanted before was pretzel, I get one, and you can't eat just one, you just sit there and keep eating and eating, okay? So that's the trouble with those things. I don't do any of those anymore. And I noticed, even though I was so exhausted the other day, when we went out to Elephant Butte, I was able to do a lot more walking than I usually could. So I am gaining strength in that. That is working better. So all in all, I have to say, really, the carnivore diet is making things better. My wrist is not so painful as it was. I was having really a lot of pain in my wrists, my joints and stuff, muscles. I was having pain in them. It's getting better. I still have some pain in this wrist, but it's not nearly what it was. So that's easing up. Now I know a lot of this stuff takes time. Like I said, I'm only 1 month into full carnivore. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. We'll see what happens in this next month. But I highly advocate it for people that are really going through some medical challenges. Now, some of the things I've seen which are amazing, it's reversed dementia on some people. MS, people are coming out of MS symptoms that were in wheelchairs. The MS had gotten so bad they were in wheelchairs. They are now up, walking. Also epilepsy. So many of these really horrendous metabolic diseases and things, they are finding that this is reversing them. Okay, now it's not going to happen overnight. This is something you have to stay dedicated with going forward. But, I can only give you my own experience, what's happening here. And again, I'm not advocating it for everybody. I'm not telling everybody on my channel, you need to go out and start carnivore immediately. It's everybody's life decision. But I can say in my own life that it is definitely making good changes in my life for things that I have had to deal with. And am still dealing with. Okay, like I said, I still have Lyme, which is definitely not fun. Between the Lyme and the total thyroidectomy, that's another reason that I just get so exhausted. Anybody that knows anything about Lyme knows that it can affect so many. It can affect joints, it affects your heart, it can affect your mental cognitions, it can affect so many different areas, and it's a nasty little bugger to deal with. And I'm hoping against hope that the carnivore will aid with some of that as well, but we'll see. So anyway, that's what's going on here, and I just wanted to put that out for people. Now, I do have a few people on my channel that are carnivores, and thank you for your support. I really appreciate it. And Yeah, that's it. That's it. So I know meat is so important if you are having Kundalini. Now, I've gotten a lot of flack over the years because I told my devotees that, the best way to ground is to have meat. And the redder the meat, the better for grounding. Okay? And I really got a lot of hate mail on that over the years because everybody's pushing, it's more spiritual to be a vegetarian, etc. But if they actually know the writings, and they push this especially from India, if you know the writings, way back in the antiquity, they were not vegetarians. That only started with Buddha, and even Buddha was not a vegetarian, okay? Yes, I know there's some people that find that hard to believe. The Dalai Lama is not a vegetarian, okay? And why is he not a vegetarian? He says he eats meat for health reasons, okay? Yeah, I mean, if they really understood the antiquity and what the writings actually said, but they have those that say, they went back and changed the writing. No, they haven't changed the writings, okay? It used to be you couldn't be a good Brahmin unless when you had the guests, you had what? Beef. Yeah, that's actually in the writings, in the Vedas, etc. So it is very grounding for people, and it's only when they started adding, instead of fats from meat, like you have your bacon fat, you cook with that, or tallow, which is beef fat, you cook with the animal fats, and it's much more healthier. Now, when they started the corn oil and this Crisco and these other things, is when heart disease and this other stuff started coming in. And you can go ahead and check the stats on that. And it was the more that they became vegetarian and vegan, more and more of these things started rising, especially with the use of these oils that were not animal, natural oils, seed oils, they call them. With the use of seed oils, these things started to get more and more ingrained in society. Now, way back when, they didn't have things like Alzheimer's, they didn't have all the heart disease, they didn't have obesity, back when even this country was starting and they were having immigrants coming. It was only with the use of these other things that it started happening. Also with indigenous people, okay, when they were living off the land and they were primarily hunter-gatherers, etc., they did not have obesity, they didn't have the heart problems, diabetes, all these other things that were going on until they started getting government supplements, which was wheat and, these other types of oils, etc. And then they started having the rise of these complications as well. Now, I get it. There's nothing better than a great piece of fry bread. But it's not healthy. And before, they were, reservations and all this other stuff that happened when there were still, hunter-gatherers. They didn't have these complications with health. Or, people that are drinking alcohol and it's got a lot of sugars in it, etc. It just fries your brain, pickles your brain. Alcohol is a horrible substance. So anyway, it's time to maybe people to look a little deeper into what they're eating, what you're putting in to fuel your body, and then what is happening in the body, how it's working or not working as the case may be. Now, I think it's really, really interesting to hear that people that even had dementia, starting Alzheimer's, that these were reversed in people that were doing carnivore, that MS has been reversed with carnivore. So many of these really deadly things have been reversed with it. Now, when I see those types of stories coming out, and I mean, you hear the people giving testimony, this is what happened in their life, I sit up and take stock of what they're saying, and I think it's pretty amazing. So that's why I decided, well, I'm going to give it a try in my life. Now, it's not easy in the beginning, because first you're, detoxing from sugar and the carbs and all of that. And then you'll go through, at some points during this, you go through oxalate dumping, which can make you feel quite ill when it's happening as you are getting changed over. And in my case, I had a very difficult time with fats at the beginning of it, and I just kept pushing through. But now I'm quite fine with it. Before, when I began, I could not eat bacon for many, many years. I, really could not eat bacon. And now I really enjoy it, and I have no problem with it. So, if you start out, and again, it takes time to adjust, just hang in, because it's worth it. So on that note, I'll leave that here. And again, I'm not trying to diss any of the vegans out there or vegetarians. It's, your life and your choice what you decide to do. I'm only giving this out as how it's impacting my life and why I changed to go carnivore and why I'm sticking with it and what progress I have seen to date. So we'll see. One thing I wish would happen, but I don't know if it will, because it can reduce tumors. I lost my hearing on this side because I have that tumor. So I'm hoping that it will reduce the size of that tumor. But that may be a little bit too much to ask for. But we'll see. Anyway, on that note, I'll leave that here for now, and I'll see you online.